So, let me tell you about something that was kind of funny. So, I'm not a popular person, so it was kind of weird when everybody was staring at me as I walked past them. And, obviously I was quite surprised, but, I was kind of busy, so I didn't think anything of it at the time. Sorry, I just got something stuck in my throat there. And, yeah, so I came into my classroom and I sat down and suddenly everybody just started pointing and laughing at me. And I had no idea what was going on. I thought, maybe my hair wasn't, looking good. Maybe I had something stuck in between my teeth. But whatever it was, I really needed to sort it out. So I asked the teacher if I could be excused to go to the bathroom. And of course, she agreed. And as I left, everybody began to laugh harder. And honestly, I was just like, what is going on? And so I reached the bathroom, obviously. And when I checked in the mirror,
Story time! In my old school, I was in a friend group of 5 girls, including me. Annie, Camila, Jenna, and Emily. We were all like best friends and always had sleepovers on Fridays or on the weekend. But Camila always said that she couldn't make it because she had soccer practice. We all said it's okay, you'll come next time, even though she never came, and we never thought anything about it. Until one Wednesday afternoon at lunch when Emily went to the bathroom. We were all like, oh my god, we should totally throw her a slumber party for her birthday next week, Friday. And everybody said yes, of course, and we all started planning it. But of course, Camila said, sorry, I have soccer practice, I can't make it. And me, as a straightforward person I am, said, you really can't miss one soccer practice for your best friend's birthday party? She, of course, felt really, really bad and said, okay, fine, I'll go. We were all super happy, but that was obviously a really bad idea. 2 of my last story time. So the day comes of Emily's birthday and we go to her house and we set up all the decorations, the piñata, the cake, all the arts and crafts, all the activities and everything. And when we arrive, we surprise her and we do all the activities, we eat cake, we do the piñata, we eat a bunch of stuff, and then it starts getting pretty late. So we decide, oh my god, let's go upstairs and watch scary movies and tell scary stories and let's bring all the candy. So we went upstairs with all the candy, a bunch of candy, and we all set up our movie spot and we start watching scary movies and telling scary stories. Everybody gets pretty tired and we're all like, yeah, I'm going to bed. Yeah, me too. But for some reason, Camila was like, no, guys, come on, let's pull an all-nighter. Everybody was pretty tired, but apparently Camila was not. Annie and Emily decide, let's try to pull an all-nighter, but everybody else went to bed. But that night, something very scary happened. Part 3 of the Camila story time. In the middle of the night, I hear a noise, so I decide to get up because I had to go to the bathroom anyways. I see that a bucket of Twizzlers were tipped over. I thought, oh, maybe someone else also had to go to the bathroom. Let me go look for them. And while I'm leaving the room, I see that Camila is the only one who's not in her sleeping bag. I go to the nearest bathroom and I check if anyone's in there, and there's no one in there. I really had to go to the bathroom, so I got inside and I did my business, and while I was doing my business, I heard a door slam. After I finished doing my business, I got up and I started looking for Camila in all the bathrooms, because Emily's house is really, really big. I go look around in the other bathrooms and there's no one in them, so I decide to look in some of the bedrooms, but there was still no one in there. I decide to go back upstairs and wake up Annie, Emily, and Jenna. We all start searching the house, but we can't find Camila anywhere. This moment, we were all scared that she had gotten kidnapped. Then we go into Camila's parents' bedroom and we see that the dad isn't in his bed. Part 4 coming soon. Last and final part of the Camila story time. So when we went into Emily's parents' bedroom, not Camila's, sorry about the confusion on my last video, we see that Emily's dad wasn't there, and we start thinking that Emily's dad kidnapped Camila. Emily was bawling her eyes out. We were all super scared, and I had never been this scared in my entire life. Emily's dad was like a second dad to me, so I was super scared that I had been hanging around a kidnapper my entire life. Emily's mom woke up and said, what's going on? And we tell her the whole story, and she's like, girls, calm down. Camila went home. We were all like, wait, what? And she was like, go get some rest. I'll tell you tomorrow at breakfast. At breakfast, Emily's dad was back. He explained to us that Camila was scared of the dark and scared of sleeping at other people's houses. And she probably dropped the bucket of Twizzlers when she was getting up to go tell Emily's parents that she wanted to go home. Camila's fine now and everything's okay. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support on my videos. This is a new story time. One day, me and my friends were talking about one of our friends' birthday parties coming up. We are going to call her Brooke. So all of my friends were invited to the birthday party. And the day before Brooke's birthday party, she sent me the address. I showed up to the address, but the house was very creepy and old. This was when I was younger, and I thought, oh, maybe they just forgot to decorate. So I casually just walked inside, and I saw that there was spider webs and dirt all over the place. I started shouting, "Is anyone there? Is anyone there?" And then I heard some footsteps, until a light turned on and I see an old man right in front of me. I asked, "Do you know where Brooke is?" And he said, "If you don't leave now, I'll throw you out myself." I ran out and got into the car. It turns out that Brooke didn't want me at her birthday party, so she gave me the wrong address on purpose.
Hey guys, this is a story time on how I got revenge on my best friend who tried to scam me. This story is also sent by Anonymous. So once I was playing a dummy and then my friend joined, and of course I trusted her because, I knew her in real life. She teleported to me and then she asked me, "Can I trust you with you?" And of course I said yes. So then she said that she'll go first, so she gave me a shadow dragon and of course I accepted and then I gave it back to her. And then she suddenly disconnected. I gave her a minute and of course she joined back and she was like, "Sorry, but now it's your turn." So I didn't think of anything at that time that should scam me. So I gave her my best pets because that's what she said to me. And I gave her my 4 shadows. And she knew that I was making a neon. I gave it to her, and of course she scammed me. After that happened, I was so devastated. Words cannot describe how I felt. I was so worried that I'll never see my shadow dragons again. My dream would never accomplish making that neon shadow. I wanted to do a little investigating. I left the game and I saw that she still hasn't unfriended me. I knew my perfect plan. I joined her. You would not believe what I did. It's so good to come out for part 2. Hello everyone, this is part 2, how my best friend had tried to scam me. So like I said in part 1, I joined her game and I confronted her. She was playing Murder Mystery and when I went up to her, she finally realized that I was still friended. Before she even left, I had to confront her saying that I'm getting this all on record so you cannot leave me. I told her to give my pets back. Those are my shadows, and you know that I was making my dream pet, which is a neon shadow dragon. She's like, "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I got disconnected." Of course she did, okay? That's the biggest excuse you can make. And she had said that she was trying to give it back, but she couldn't join her, so she played Ragdoll until I came and confronted her. So like my dumb self, I believed her, and she gave me my pets back, and I wish I knew before what was going to happen next. So let's say this is about 2 weeks later. What I didn't realize was she and her friends were trying to get, and remind you, she has 3 friends, so basically she did get a shadow dragon and so of her 3 friends. They were all making a plan to scam me. I was playing a dummy and her 3 friends.
Hey guys, today I'm gonna tell you a story that happened 1 year ago. So I had this friend. We are gonna call her Evelyn. She was famous on YouTube. I had YouTube then, pretending that infamous. I played Roblox and other games. So I asked her if we could be IBFs. She said yes. I was super happy at the time. We chatted on Snap, Insta and other stuff. We got matching outfits. We even got each other's numbers. So we were really close and we played Roblox every single day. And we even FaceTimed a lot. We made some videos together and stuff like that. It was all really fun until one day she said, "OMG." To be honest, I was confused. Part 2. This is part 2. So as I said in part 1, I was really confused. I asked, "Is everything okay?" She said yes, and she told me why she said OMG. She told me Father X best friend is back, or something like that. I said okay, what does that has to do with me? She said nothing, I'm just telling you. I said okay, but promised to not leave. She promised us, she said of course I will never leave you. So as a week or 2 goes by, she started making videos with her new best friend that we are gonna call Amber. And I saw those videos in her channel. I asked if she wanted to FaceTime, and she said no, I'm talking with Amber. I said oh okay, because I didn't really care. I wasn't jealous of Amber. The next day, I saw her playing Tozo. I joined her. I said hi Evelyn, but she just ignored me. Then Amber came. She ignored me too. I was kind of upset, but it just completed the tower now. They left after I completed the tower. Then they added me to a group chat. What they said in the group chat was not good. Hey guys, this is the last part. So it turned out that my mom hated them too. That was a good one. So like a year later, I decided to start this account. Then I started gaming like a lot. So when I hit 13k followers, so someone followed me and I followed them back and they messaged me. They said, "Hi Ella, I'm really sorry for how I treated you. So, maybe they could join the account." I asked who this is, and they said it's Evelyn. I said, "Hell no, you ain't joining, ma'am." Again, she was begging me for the pass and other account securities, and I just said no. And then started swearing at me and said, "I never even liked you, So I said, "Me either." And then I blocked her TE. Then she created new ACCs to pretend she wants to be my IPE, so I blocked her on many ACCs. This part wasn't really long, so don't come at me.
I was in class on Zoom. I wanted to go to sleep, honestly, because like when I'm tired, I go to sleep. I end up falling asleep and then class ends and everyone starts leaving the class. Except me, because I was like in a whole other universe at this point. I was dreaming, I was flying. At this point, me and the teacher are alone in the call. This is the best part. Then the teacher starts talking to me and he's like, Samantha, wake up. Samantha, please. Samantha, you have another class. He woke me up, but I was half awake, so I didn't really know what was going on. So I thought it was my brother waking me up, and I straight up yelled. I was like, shut up, you fat booger. And so then I realized, oh shit, I just called my teacher a fat booger. And now he scheduled a parent conference.
Some teachers just really get on my nerves, you know? I don't know what planet they're on, but they definitely are just built different. Here's an example. When you need to go to the toilet, you politely put your hand up and say, Miss, can I go to the toilet? No, you should have gone at lunch. I'm sorry, Karen, but I can't control my bladder. You know, at lunch, when I'm eating and drinking, it gets digested, and then later on, I need to go to the toilet. It will take me 5 minutes at max. Probably not even 5 minutes. Considering our lessons are like an hour long, I'm sure that's not too much of an issue, is it? And then sometimes they're just like, okay, but you need to wait until so-and-so gets back. I need to go to the toilet. I don't care about talking to anyone. I want to go to the toilet. I don't care about that. What do you think we're going to do in there? Just sit and chat for the rest of the lesson? No. And then they're like, don't want you having a bit of a mother's meeting in there. Oh my God.
Is it just me? Or like, okay, let's just say you're in the playground, on the floor, you broke your bloody arm, and your teacher is like, oh, you'll be fine. Follow me, we'll go put a wet paper towel on it. Excuse me? A wet paper towel is going to help my broken arm, huh? Yes, really? It's just going to irritate it more. And a bone is sticking out my body. Oh, it's not going to automatically go back in, is it? No. And, like, what is wrong with you?
Am I the only one that would show up to school and nothing important would happen? But then you miss one day! One day! And the whole entire math club beats up the football team. Tom Cruise walks through the front door and is like, hey look, I'm gonna pay all your college tuition. The popular girl gets pregnant. The worst teacher in the building gets fired. Everybody that was in English class passes with an A. The principal's like, hey, guess what, teachers? Email. Hand out 400 points worth of extra credit for no reason. And then there was a freaking dinosaur fight.
Tell me why people in my class are so energetic at like 8 a.m. in the morning. Okay, they're all laughing, having fun, whilst I look like an ugly rat. They're looking fresh as a daisy, just came out the freaking shower, and I look like, I don't know, I haven't slept in months. I also get cranky in the mornings because they, stupid school and my alarm, interrupted my lovely dream with Shrek.
I do not understand in the slightest how I can literally be falling asleep, right? I cannot keep my eyes open. But then when I actually get into bed and I want to go to sleep, I can't. I'm all of a sudden not tired. It's like I swear my days are backwards because I don't know how this works. It will take me like 3 hours to properly go to sleep, even though 10 minutes ago I was so tired. Sometimes it might just be the middle of the night and I will just still be laying there thinking about random things. Like how
Is it just me? Like, when you're scrolling through TikTok, you could be on any video, and then automatically TikTok, like, scrolls down, like, a bajillion videos. Like, I'm sorry, honey, but I'm not finished with the one I was just watching.
Story time about how I thought someone broke into my house. So my mom always babysits this one girl, and sometimes when my mom has to go like run errands or she has to go to the supermarket or something, I take care of the girl. Usually it's only for like half an hour to an hour and a half or something like that, and then I get the money of that hour. But then it was one day and I was babysitting her, and she always does my makeup or she does my hair and stuff, and she was doing my hair. And we record like YouTube videos kind of sometimes, just for fun, because she wants to be a YouTuber when she grows up, so we film like YouTube videos of her like doing my hair and makeup. And we heard a noise. It was kind of a noise of like a squeaky door. We were like, oh my god, what was that? So we ended like the YouTube video that we were doing, and we rewatched the tape. In the tape, you couldn't almost hear anything, just a very light squeak of the door. She was kind of freaked out, but I tried to stay calm for her sake, and I didn't want her to completely like freak out and get super scared. So I just told her that it was nothing and that we can continue making her YouTube videos. By the way, we don't post these videos, they're just for her fun and just to entertain her while I babysit her. She continues doing my hair and makeup, and we're having a lot of fun, and we completely forgot about the sound. Then after about 15 minutes later, we hear another sound. It sounds like two voices talking to each other. It goes on for about 2 minutes of just two voices talking to each other, and then it just stops. At this point, even me was freaked out. The girl I'm babysitting starts getting super scared, so I decide let me put her some Paw Patrol on YouTube so she gets distracted and she won't notice anything else that goes on. I didn't want to go outside of my room to go check because I was literally also scared. Also, I didn't want to call or text my mom because my mom was in a really important meeting and I did not want to distract her, so I didn't text her or anything. And then I closed the door so the girl didn't have to freak out again if she heard any noises. And then a few minutes later, the door started opening. Part 2 about how I thought someone broke into my house. So the door slowly starts opening. I literally saw my life flash before my eyes. I thought I was going to get murdered. I thought that I was just going to die. Like, it was the end. But you'll never guess who was behind that door. It was my dad. I hadn't realized I wasn't the only one home. All this time, me babysitting that girl, I thought I was home alone. But I wasn't. My dad works from home. Noise that we heard that was like a squeaky door, that was my dad going into the bathroom. The two voices we heard was my dad in a meeting. I was so relieved. I don't even know how I could forget that someone else was home. Like, my dad has been working from home for like a year and a half now because of COVID. How did I just randomly forget that he was home? Anyways, I explained it to the little girl, and she was completely fine. She had forgotten it in the next 5 minutes. I told my dad what happened, he just like laughed a lot. And now he likes bothering me because of that, so that's fun.
Since I don't go to in-person school, I stay online and do school on Zoom. I thought being online was very convenient because I could bring my tablet anywhere with me and still be in school. One time when I was on my lunch break, my mom went to get me a taco from Taco Bell because my other option was McDisgusting, and God knows that I would rather die than to eat that shit. I went to go get my food from the kitchen and went up to join my class because my lunch break was over. I was eating the taco and all of a sudden my stomach started to boom boom shakalaka grumble bumble. In my head I was just like, I can just bring my tablet to the bathroom with me while I shit. So I did that. I placed my tablet against the wall facing me and I took a shit. The shit literally shot out of my asshole faster than the earth could orbit around the sun. I did the most runny gunny, faster than a bunny, bees making honey. It spent my money. I was far from done me. I wasn't funny. Chubby bunny. Outside was sunny. Extremely smelly. Wiggled like jelly. Traumatized Kelly. Welly belly Nelly. Fly in a heli. Cell phone telly. Scared my cat Shelly. Petroleum jelly. People started laughing, but I thought the teacher said something funny. Then the teacher said, Sophia, you had all of lunch break to use the bathroom and you choose to not only do it during class but to also show us all too. I froze for a good 3 seconds because of how embarrassed I was. I fell face first into the floor and left the Zoom and turned my tablet off. I stayed there with my face in the floor for like 3 minutes just taking in what I just did. I didn't go back to school for like 3 weeks. When I decided to go back, people called me Sophia Diarrhea. One day I was getting ready for school because it was picture day. I had just got new makeup from Easter. I put my foundation on and I thought I looked cute even though the foundation shade made me look sunburnt and the eyeshadow was dark orange. Not a good look. I also wore this ugly musty dress. It was green on the top and the sleeves had brown ruffles. I thought I looked so cool so I went to school. I am still mad at my parents for sending me to school and that. Everyone stared at me while I walked into class, even my teacher. She was telling us to go down to get our pictures taken by our last names and I went in the beginning since my last name starts with C. I went down and then my stomach started to hurt. I ate McDonald's for breakfast because my parents were too lazy to make breakfast. I honestly started to pray to Whitney Houston that I wouldn't shart. I held my hands to my ass and walked to the photo booth. My stomach started to rumble, grumble, bumble, trumble, numbler, mumble, zumble, mumble. I tried act natural so I removed my hands from my ass and got ready to take my picture. While I was standing there I did the most soggy doggy, sounded froggy, came out cloggy, looked loggy, made the room foggy, very soggy. I pulled a Nessa Barrett. It made the school building shake so much to the point people thought there was a level 5 tornado. I shat so much that it covered the camera right when they took the photo. When they realized it was my ass and not a tornado, I was immediately rushed to the emergency room and they diagnosed me with the one and only bowel cancer.
So when I was in year 7, every Wednesday I think it was, we used to do an activity, and one of the activities was just dance, or there was a puzzle or reading, but no one ever wanted to do reading, so we always voted for just dance. And me and my friends were in the back, we had to make a bicycle or something, or was it a horse? I don't even remember, but it was let me just show you. I was always this guy, because I don't really know why, I was just always this guy. And then I remember my friend was sitting on top of me, well, not sitting on top of me, you know what I mean, and then she fell, and I felt like I broke my neck. I probably didn't, but it really hurt. And we always won because we were just the best, the best.
One day my mom told me and my siblings that she had saved up enough money to buy her dream car. We were like, yes queen, period. Anyways, after she picked up her new whip she took us and we got some yummy McDonald's. My phone was on Bluetooth and we were blasting music and having a full-on karaoke session and all that fun shit, but of course I had to fucking spill my Coke, but my mom said it's no big deal, but I expected a whooping. The next day while she was cleaning her car we had to go outside because we had a cleaner. I was learning the new WAP dance and didn't realize my phone was still on Bluetooth. So this is what my mom heard.
Now from the top, make it drop, that's some wet, that's some wet. Now get a bucket and a mop, that's some wet, that's some wet. I'm talking wop, wop, wop.
My siblings were laughing like, bitch fucking shut up. My mom asked what WAP means and I had to go with the classic, and told her it meant waffles and pancakes, smirking face. The next day she went shopping with my stepdad. Me and my siblings woke up with waffles and pancakes and had a note that said, had to go to the shops, hope y'all enjoy the WAP. We were all laughing until we saw her Instagram. One time I was sitting in church and I had to fart. I knew it would be dangerous considering I have a supernatural asshole. I felt it coming and the next thing you know the building starts vibrating and the sprinklers got set off. The roof was starting to cave in and I knew it was coming. All the windows were shattering and the ground was wobbling. I did the most chunky, monkey, funky, stunky, bed bunky, tree trunky, gunky, skunky, sloppy, ploppy, moppy, gloppy, mushy, tushy, ooshy gooshy, sushi fart so powerful I needed to get stitches. The walls started to crack and everyone was screaming while hiding under their chairs praying because they thought God was coming down. The danger alarm went off and everyone was calling their family saying they loved them. The roof finally caved in causing more destruction and my whole splitting fart finally stopped. Everyone got out from under the chairs and looked around. There was rubble everywhere and even the brick walls was cracked. They were wondering where God is and I had to act concerned with them. Anyways, my fart made it on the news and was titled as California's most deadliest earthquake. Little did they know it was my ripper ass. One day my mom told me and my siblings that she had saved up enough money to buy her dream car. We were like, yes queen, period. Anyways, after she picked up her new whip she took us and we got some yummy McDonald's. My phone was on Bluetooth and we were blasting music and having a full-on karaoke session and all that fun shit, but of course I had to fucking spill my Coke, but my mom said it's no big deal, but I expected a whooping. The next day while she was cleaning her car we had to go outside because we had a cleaner. I was learning the new WAP dance and didn't realize my phone was still on Bluetooth. So this is what my mom heard.
Now from the top, make it drop, that's some wet, that's some wet. Now get a bucket and a mop, that's some wet, that's some wet. I'm talking wop, wop, wop.
My siblings were laughing like, bitch fucking shut up. My mom asked what WAP means and I had to go with the classic, and told her it meant waffles and pancakes, smirking face. The next day she went shopping with my stepdad. Me and my siblings woke up with waffles and pancakes and had a note that said, had to go to the shops, hope y'all enjoy the WAP. We were all laughing until we saw her
One time I was in class when the teacher announced the new wolf girl. Her name was Kathy Coatfur. She sat next to me and started licking her paw while sniffing her hoodie vigorously. Our teacher named Miss Armstead walked in and announced that we are going camping in the woods, and Kathy Coatfur started howling out the window. We got on the bus and Kathy sat next to me and started sniffing my hoodie while drooling on my arm. Then she sat on the bus floor and started scratching behind her ear with her foot. We arrived at the forest and she ran out on all fours with her tongue out. We were setting up our tents and Kathy Coatfur ran into the woods on all fours. I told Miss Armstead that Kathy ran deep into the woods, and she started to make tribal maneuvers. It was getting dark and Miss Armstead started to get worried, so she sent out a search party, and that's when we looked up and noticed it was a full moon. The quiet kid whispered, "Oh fuck," and that's when we heard an unsettling noise. The search party ran into the direction of the howling, and that's when we saw Kathy Coatfur naked on all fours while 4 wolves were circling her. I think she was in heat. The camp ranger tried to take Kathy back to the campsite, and she started growling and saying she's trying to start a litter. We lured her into a cage with some raw meat and then brought her back to the campsite. The trip was cut short and we all called her Canine Kathy the whole ride back. It turns out the wolves had bowel cancer.
Oh, one time I had this really rude math teacher, like she would always yell at us for no reason and everyone in the class wanted to get revenge on her. She was really short, like 3 feet tall, so whenever she would write on the whiteboard she would need to stand on a chair. One day when she was writing on the whiteboard and she was standing on a chair, I went up behind her and yanked the chair away and she went flying. This bitch went 984 miles per hour. She started orbiting like the aliens were gonna take her away. She landed and was unconscious, so the other teachers rushed into the room and called the ambulance. Since nobody liked this annoying bitch, we just said that she fell off of her chair when she was writing. The paramedics took her away and we still haven't confessed to the police that it was us, and we probably never will since we don't give a fuck about her. She hasn't come back to the school ever since, and this happened like 2 months ago, so me and my classmates are hoping that she died. One day my teacher announced to the class that we were gonna do a Kahoot. I threw my bag of Cheeto Puffs in the air and screamed because I was so excited. I knew I was going to win the Kahoot. Everyone else looked at me like I was on drugs because of how hyper I was. They all knew that I was gonna win since I have never lost a game of Kahoot before. The game started and I was obviously the first to join. My username was KahootMaster235, of course. Most people joined and so the teacher started the game. Some people didn't join because they knew I was gonna win. There were 15 questions. I was in the lead, but when I saw the leaderboard, this kid with the username You're Gonna Lose Sophia89 was really close behind me. Everyone was cheering them on because they wanted to see me fail. I was like, oh hell no, ratatata, that ain't gonna happen. I couldn't lose my streak of winning. I got the 10th question wrong, but You're Gonna Lose Sophia89 got it right, so they went up to first place and I went to second. I did well the rest of the game, and when it announced the winners, I was in fucking second place and they crippled, stretched, Ed Sheeran, cereal box, stanky ho, brick eating, cockastain, mama hippo, Jojo Siwa on steroids bitch won. Everyone was applauding them and I realized it was Becky Necky. I decided since everyone was laughing, I let out the most wubble double bubble hubble nubble mubble pubble lubble cubble zubble shit. It managed to make the school catch on fire. Everyone evacuated and everyone was covered in smoke. Everyone apologized to me for laughing at me. It turned out I had bowel cancer and I had to go to the doctor since my asshole had 3rd-degree burns. One day when I was packing my lunch, my grandpa asked me what I was eating, so I told him I was gonna eat a sandwich, apples and Takis. He asked what Takis were and I said they were spicy chips. He asked to try one, but my grandma told me that if I gave him a Taki I would regret it. I gave him one anyway. When he bit the Taki he jumped 65 feet in the air screaming. He was asking for milk and we gave him milk, but we forgot he was also lactose intolerant. While he was drinking the milk he ran out of the room and tripped on our pet pussy. He started farting and it sounded like we lived next to NASA when a rocket is about to launch. He let out the longest sloppy gloppy bloppy moppy noppy copy loppy floppy sloppy. When he fell I heard his back crackle McFrackle tackle. His back cracked, the cat attacked, roaches get attract, he broke his back, his shit turned abstract, he fell on the floor and couldn't get up no more, he was very sore, he looked like a dead boar. The pussy went bonker yonker plonker knocker conkers. We rushed him to the hospital and found out he died from a ruptured ribcage and explosive diarrhea. We also found out he had lymphedema, type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes, bowel cancer, the bubonic plague, the coronavirus, the Spanish flu, tuberculosis, malaria, AIDS, shitworm, measles and polio. I used to have this art teacher and everyone hated her. She was the biggest bitch, like she was literally so mean and strict, and for what? What was the reason? Anyways, one day she was really testing my limits and she had the motherfucking audacity to rip up and throw away a project I worked on for a week because she said it quote unquote wasn't good enough and that I never even try in her class. Even though I worked so hard on it and I did the best I could. I was mad at her for saying I didn't ever try and that my work wasn't good enough for her, so I was thinking to myself, shut your bubble gum dum dum skin tone chicken bone Google Chrome no homo flip phone disowned ice cream cone garden gnome extra. Chromosome metronome dimidome genome full blown monochrome student blown. Indiana Jones overgrown Flintstone X and Y chromosome friendzone Sylvester Stallone Sierra Leone AutoZone friendzone professionally seen silver patron big headed ass up. And out of anger I grabbed my backpack and said no, I am gonna leave. My way or the highway. And I stormed out of that ugly bitch's class and flipped her off on the way out. I deadass ran out of the school and walked all the way home since I lived close to the school. My mom asked me why I was home early and I told her what happened and she was surprisingly proud of me. So proud that she took me out for ice cream. I was suspended for 3 days for doing that, but oh well, fuck that bitch.
One sunny morning I woke up in the middle of the night. I sat up and looked around violently, and that's when I felt my finger throbbing. I looked at it and it was filled with a creamy cream so creamy you could churn it for butter. I ran to my mummy's room in slow motion and told her violently, "Oh mummy, there's something bad happening to my thummy," and she collapsed in slow motion. She got up rapidly and inspected my thumb, and she had fear in her eyes. She put on her glasses and grabbed an old dusty book and said, "I've seen this only once before. It happens so rarely." I said, "What could be possessing my thumb with an ungodly cream?" And she slammed the book shut. She said, "We need to go to the hospital right this instant." We sped to the hospital as fast as we could in slow motion. We arrived violently and that's when I got brought out on a stretcher. I was taken to the immediate surgery room and they began operating while I was still on the stretcher. She grabbed my hand violently. "Oh mummy, my body is starting to feel numby," and she collapsed in slow motion. I'm not ready to die. The surgery lasted for 17 hours and it finally finished. We were in the waiting room sitting violently when the results came in. My mummy opened the envelope to reveal that it was just constipation cream.